Good, how are you?
Good. So KJ kind of stole your jet sweep from you this weekend. What's it like being on a team with a bunch of guys that you were the fastest guy for a long time, and now, you're not the only one out there with that speed?
I mean, I guess the great recruiter from Coach Franklin, getting a lot of guys in here that have a unique talent, and when they go out there and use it, it kind of shows. I'm happy to say that I'm still faster than KJ, but it's still fun going out there and seeing guys use their talent to help the team.
Brandon, year 4 for you on campus, making the impact now, week 1, week 2. You're listed as a co-starter on the depth chart now. Can you describe what you've proven to yourself through these first 2 games of the season?
At least for me, I can go out there and do what the coaches kind of believe that I can do, and for myself as well, going out there and proving myself with confidence and going out there and just making plays when they come to me.
Brandon, I couldn't help but hear you say that you're the fastest, because we talked to KJ a little while ago. He said he was the fastest. So how much of a point of contention is this? You guys just kind of joking around about who's the fastest in this receiving core?
We just kind of go out there. We're a competitor, so we're going to compete in everything we do. It's kind of one of our core values. So KJ can say he's faster than me. I'm going to say he's faster than me. Jawan can say, it doesn't matter. We're going out there. We're going to compete. And KJ and I, we always joke around about it, but I'm still faster than him.
So how many Penn State receivers think they're the fastest receiver?
Me.
Brandon, at what point did you realize what sort of quarterback Trace McSorley was? Because you obviously go way back. Was there a time that it kind of clicked for you? Because it took, I think, the rest of the world much longer to kind of figure it out.
I would say for me, it was my freshman year, because I played at a school called Freedom High School, and I remember all week they were talking about Trace McSorley. I've heard of him because my dad, and his dad were really close friends, and they came and they killed us, and that's kind of when I knew about Trace McSorley and the things that he could do. So then when I went to where I was my sophomore year, kind of everything clicked. He kind of made me, I could say, kind of the competitor and half the person I am today, with the way the energy that he brought to the team, and it's just very infectious. So that's kind of when I knew him.
How much has he changed?
I would say he's very much the same person ever since high school. The only thing I would say is he's got taller, stronger. I guess the knowledge of the game, he's understood that a lot better, but basically from the energy and that standpoint, he's basically the same person.
How's it going, Brandon?
What's up, Harris?
So, from watching the previous match against Kent State and knowing your specific strengths, what are some of the things you noticed about the defense from film that will play into your strengths?
I would just say that, Kent State, they're a really good team on the back end. They had a really good season-opening game against Illinois, but I feel like my speed, kind of the ability to change directions, I feel like that's going to help me out my route running, and as well as, anyone else who's out there. I feel like the people that Coach Franklin has here, receiving core and even running backs, whatever, that they're going to go out there and kind of do the best ability.
Thanks, Leonard. Just curious, was the 4th down catch against App State, where does that rank among your most important moments here?
I would say the top one for me, because it was kind of the way I looked at it when I kind of saw their defense, and when I see the DB back up a little bit, it's kind of what, at least for me, kind of my progression as a wide receiver, as in understanding defenses rather than just going out there and running a route. So I kind of had an idea that the ball was going to come to me when he started to bail. So I kind of went out there and ran my route, and when I seen the ball, I knew that the depth of the route was 6 yards, around there, 5-6 yards, and it was 4th and 2. So I knew that I had the first down, and then my next thing was to do is get out of bounds. It was under 2 minutes. So that was kind of a really proud moment, I guess, for me.
Talking about that play, you were so open, and that ball's coming to you. I don't think I've seen anyone concentrate so hard on not dropping a pass. What is going through your head? Because sometimes being wide open, I've never caught a football in the game, so I have no idea if it's true. But I would imagine that would be almost harder than being covered and catching it, because with just you right there?
I just was trying to go out there, and my objective in my head wasn't don't drop the ball. It was catch the ball first and then go. So I wasn't thinking negatively, like if I drop this ball, that's what's going to happen. I was just making the play when the ball came to me, and I felt like I did everything in my ability to make sure that I got it done.
And what has it been like grinding through 4 years of football with 1 million receivers have been on this roster? A lot of these guys, Deshaun's played forever. I mean, what is it like staying engaged in a way that gives you this opportunity and not maybe just saying, it's just not going to work or whatnot?
I would just say, like, just kind of with all the guys before me, they've kind of, I still talk to Deshaun and all them today. They just kind of helped me, like, get through the process as well as my family. Going there, like, not giving up. I mean, my dad always told me quitters never win, so that's not something that I kind of want to do. I was never in my mind that, like, I don't want to be here anymore because this is not going my way. I just thought for me, the best thing for me was to put my head down, just keep working, and when my opportunity comes, just make sure I take advantage of it.
Brandon, drops have been an issue for some other players. In general, as a receiver, is that something mental, and how do you overcome that? Is it just repetition, or how do you get past that?
I would just say it's more repetition as well as like the next play mentality. Because like let's say you drop a football and then that's the only thing on your mind, you're just gonna keep dropping the football and keep dropping it. So I feel like if they drop a football, okay, move on to the next play so that doesn't happen again. Because if you're thinking negatively, that's what's gonna happen. So the jug machines and kind of different things that I've kind of been YouTube, I kind of look out there to see some of the drills that NFL teams are using or things like that to kind of help me personally, like with whether it's contested catches or see what they're doing to kind of use for my game.
Is that maybe the norm, looking on YouTube for stuff specific to the game, or is that what most of you guys do?
Most of the receiver stuff I always get from Coach Corley, but like some of the when I was trying to work on my contested catches, I kind of need someone else to kind of help me with that. I can't just run around and catch the ball with no one there. So kind of looked up some stuff on YouTube and seen like a distraction drill where they're shooting the jugs and someone's in front waving their hands and stuff and kind of catching that. So I feel like that's kind of what's helped me with things like that.
Cool. And going off of that, totally different note is what I was going for. When Trace beat you freshman year, what do you remember about the game? Was there a specific play that he made that stands out or anything like that?
I don't remember the specific play, but I just remember the score of the game. It was like 50-something to 3. So 50-something to 3.
Oh, 50-something.
So I don't remember the exact play, but I just remember it wasn't fun.
Okay, thanks.
Brandon, could Cliff have thrown a better ball?
No, that was probably one of the best balls that he's thrown. That was perfect. It was right there. I didn't really have to do anything. I just had to put my hands out. It basically fell right to my hands. So that was a really good ball by Cliff. Really proud of him that he went out there and just showed what he could do.
At that moment when you catch that, you guys go up by so much. What's the feeling like at that point?
At that point, every touchdown for me is pretty much the same, whether it's the first touchdown or the last touchdown. We all work so hard. I know like getting the end zone isn't easy. It might look easy, but it's not easy to get in the end zone and to score. So every time I get in there or whoever else gets there, you always see me. I'm there celebrating with them. I know all the hard work that we put in. So it's it.
So did that game freshman year have anything to do with you ultimately transferring if you can't be doing it?
No, it was between Briarwoods or Westfield, which is another school in that area. But the difference was they woke up, or they were getting up at 7, and I was just getting up at 9, and I didn't want to do that.
At this point, when you go back home, how relevant is Trace all the time? Are people talking about him all the time? And obviously we have the better here at Penn State, but what about back home?
Trace is still the talk of the town here in Briarwoods. He's a great guy. Everyone's talking about him. But it doesn't matter where I'm going, because sometimes I'll go to different games. See one of my brother's friends play in high school, and they're talking about Trace and stuff like that, and how it's been playing with him since basically high school until now. He's just a great guy, and every time I go home, someone says something nice about him. I mean, it's honestly true. It's just a nice person to know.
And there was a long wait from when you guys were playing together in high school to when you were playing games together here. For you, what did he have to say to you after the App State game, maybe after your touchdown against Pitt, just saying, hey, you know, you're in the fold now on offense, you're a key player. Did he approach you about that?
Just kind of when he was out there, when I kind of caught that, even the 4th down pass, kind of over there, I mean, he kind of looks at me and was like, good job. Like as I was running across, and I hear that, and I talk to him every day, kind of get the knowledge of kind of what he's thinking in like certain situations, and even with the touchdown, I mean, at Pitt, and he's always been in my ear telling me like, look, we need this, we need that, and like just being a person that you can go to anytime, any point in the game. I mean, hey, even remember on that play where I got called for a block in the back versus Pitt, he came up to me and was like, look, it's good, next play. Like, we need you, you can't be somewhere else, we need you right here. So that was kind of good for me and reassuring that, you know, everything's good.
We've heard so much about Trace being described as a steady Eddie, probably about a dozen times. What's the guy that we don't see off the field that Trace, you said he's a good guy, everybody around town talks about him. What's he like away from the field?
Who, Trace?
Yeah.
He's a good guy. I mean, just away from the field, he's basically the same person. Whether, I mean, even if we're playing, sometimes I'll play Fortnite with him and things like that. I mean, he's still like trying to like the best he can be and like whatever it is. So I mean, he's just a great person you can talk to about literally anything. And even like there's some questions, even when we won't be at practice or watching film, but I may ask him something about football, and he'll be able to tell me like right then and there, and he knows basically everything.
Brandon, can't help but hear you mention Fortnite. Who's your ideal squad if you were to pick three guys?
Squad on the team?
Yeah.
I would say Jam would be one of them. Jam's pretty good. Me, of course, probably the best one. John Reed, and then the next, there's like a toss-up. Maybe like Amani, Koa, Coop, like some people like that. That's one of those would be the last one, but definitely Jam and John Reed.
Favorite place to drop?
Favorite place to drop? Tilted Towers, you have to.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people there, you gotta go there.
That's aggressive.
Anything else for Brandon?
Sorry.
No?
Sorry. With this young group of receivers that has been talked about so much, how did that kind of push you to make sure that you made the most and carved out a role for yourself this year? Because obviously, if those guys jump you, it'll be tough to get ahead of them. How have they motivated you and the other veterans in the receiver room?
We kind of all motivate each other. It's not really like my thought process wasn't like, oh, these guys are coming in, I gotta make sure. Like I was just going in, doing the best that I could do. Just was knowing the offense and just running my routes a lot better. So I mean, we always go in there and we're always helping each other out. So it's not like I'm like, oh, this person behind me, I can't help this person out because I don't want to jump, you know. If they need help or I see them doing something wrong or something they can do better, I'm gonna help them out and they do the same thing for me. Because I always ask them, like, when I'm running my routes or even in practice, like, was my foot turning here? Am I doing this right? And they tell me no. Okay, well, the next time I run that route, I'm gonna make sure I'm more focused on that. So we kind of just go out there, we're all helping each other out and just making sure that we're all at our best.
When there's a change on the depth chart, like there was yesterday, they updated, you have to clear the air a little bit with DeAndre. I mean, does it get brought up in conversation like, hey, we're now or status at the #1 spot? I mean, did you address it in any way?
DeAndre, we kind of went up to each other. He was like, he came up to me and literally said, good job, you know, you kind of did what you had to do. He said, now I'm gonna get it back. And I looked at him and said, no, I'm gonna keep it. So like, it's kind of just that competitiveness in the room that, you know, we all want to be at our best. And he even told me, like, even when I'm running routes up there or I'm going against a defender, like when he's on the sideline, he'll be like, look, this is what this person's doing when you do this. And then I do the same thing for him to make sure when we both go out there, but we're both at our best.